Yeah. Hey, little black girl out. Double check. Man with the voice of the mother. Hey, little black girl out. I show the respect, yeah. Real shit. Hey, little black girl out. Yeah. Get to it, yeah. Hey, little black girl out. Hey, you been traveling night and day, and you still so many miles away. Little black girl out. And no matter how much time it takes, I'm praying that you find your way. Little black girl out. You been traveling night and day, and you still so many miles away. Hey, little black girl out. And no matter how much time it takes, I'm praying that you find your way. Little black girl out.
Shorty on green, just turned 16. Them older niggas on this, boosting her self-esteem. Mama tryna warn her, but Shorty don't hear things. She found the SEX, now Shorty a sex fiend. He hopped up in a DM, where you tryna meet? Come and have a drink, let's smoke a little weed, and she did. Type of nigga that pray on little kids. He need carrying a package you can never get rid of. Tell me that ain't what you did, love. You ain't even had the chance to really live, huh? This nigga 40, you carrying his kid, huh? He on the run, you would never see him again, love. A little black girl lost, one mistake, not forever pay the cost. Yeah, I wish that I could rewind. She taking pills to numb the pain, her vision going fade. She ain't make it to see the next day.
Hey, little black girl out. Hey, you been traveling night and day, and you still so many miles away. Little black girl out. And no matter how much time it takes, I'm praying that you find your way. Little black girl out. You been traveling night and day, and you still so many miles away. Hey, little black girl out. And no matter how much time it takes, I'm praying that you find your way. Little black girl out. Hey, under my tutelage, you learn to take what you got and start using it. But I never knew that this other part of you exists, that would take your body and start prostituting it. When you wrote and told me about it, I'm like, who is this? This ain't the Sunday school student that I used to kiss. But see, my love is unconditional, cause you my sis. I don't approve of your decisions, but if you insist on handling responsibility by being out there in the street, just be conscious of your seeds. Every time you finna leave, our lives are slightly different, but the common enemy that we gamble with is depth, and the possibilities are win, lose, or draw, and that's about a 33% chance to make it out, girl. Those odds are kinda steep, and I ain't trying to preach to you a driver's side of speech, but try to make it back in one solid piece. Hey, little black girl out. Hey, you been traveling night and day, and you still so many miles away. Little black girl out. And no matter how much time it takes, I'm praying that you find your way. Little black girl out. You been traveling night and day, and you still so many miles away. Hey, little black girl out. No matter how much time it takes, I'm praying that you find your way. Little black girl out.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, it's Shakia Yancey, aka Ricochet, the voice of the mothers. Okay, to all my followers that follow me, you guys know I have been covering this story for the last 2 days. It started on May 7th around 3 o'clock p.m. I had dropped a exclusive video. I had received, resources had reached out to me, and they told me that a young lady had committed suicide. And they found her in the house. The baby father had found her in the house with her toddler child. I believe the child is maybe the age of 1 or younger. I'm not sure, but we finna find all that out now. I have one of the family members that's joining me today that's going to give us an exclusive interview of a little bit of back end, because we didn't hear about this on the news. We have not really seen too much about it on social media, and it's crazy because it wasn't a suicide. It turned out that actually the baby's father is the one who is facing charges now. So with that being said, I'm about to withdraw myself, and I'm going to play this first video clip to remind y'all of the story that I'm talking about. Good evening. This is reporter Shakia Yancey reporting live from the 4900 block of Linden Road in Rockford, Illinois. It has been reported to us that a young lady between the age of 20 and 30 has unalived herself. Sources has also reported that the boyfriend of the deceased was taken in for further questioning just in case there might have been any foul play. Before taken away, the baby father did make a statement to officers saying that him and the baby mother got into a heated argument. He left, and when he came back, he found the mother of the child unconscious with a headshot wound. This is a developing story, and we will give you updates when we find them out. Our hearts and prayers goes out to the deceased. Signing off, Shakia and Yancy. Now, if you remember that, then you remember the post that and video that I did yesterday. Which, if you don't, here's the video that I did yesterday after I did a little bit more further. Hi, this is reporter Shakia Yancey reporting to you live at the Winnebago County Justice Center with your news update. Last night, a young lady between the ages of 20 and 30 was found deceased in her apartment complex in the 4900 block of Linden Road. Last night, it was said that the baby father, Douglas Bell, was taken into custody for more questioning. 20-year-old Douglas Bell has now been charged of the murder of the victim. What was alleged to be a suicide has now been confirmed as a homicide. This story is still ongoing. Once we get the identification of the victim, we will be giving you another update. Signing off, Shakia Yancey. Now, this is what frustrates me because every day we have been finding out more and more information, but it's not being broadcasted. Like, I see people talking about Puff Daddy and all this other stuff that do not affect us in no type of shape, form, or way, but y'all not really realizing what is going on in our community. With that being said, the identification of the young lady is Elizabeth Beasly, and she was 19 years old. So I'm about to bring to the screen family member. This is her cousin, Valerie Jefferson. How you doing, Miss Valerie?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am fine, and prayers and goes out to the family again. I am so sorry that this happened to you guys, but I want to be the platform and help you, tell y'all side of the story because it's so we just gonna let you have the floor. Go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell them what you know, a little bit about the deceased young lady.
Okay. Well, I, as stated to you earlier, yesterday I received a call, yesterday informing me of a very close individual that was very close to Elizabeth, um, informing me that she had passed and letting me know that she had passed. Um, by homicide. At the time, I had not received any information that it was alleged to be a suicide, but definitely that she had passed, and they thought it was a homicide committed by the father of her child. Um, so that was yesterday morning. Apparently, she was actually deceased from the day before, but they had just recently received information about her death.
Yeah, when I had got out there, it was like around between the hours of 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. That's the
Hmm.
video footage that you see with the officers out there.
Hmm.
Um, it was still ongoing. I had everything taped up, but I talked to a couple of the neighbors, and they was the ones who was filling me in the information. They were saying they didn't know them personally, but they was telling me that they have heard things. And um, what I'm hearing is that it was an ongoing domestic violence type of situation that led on to this. And if somebody would have stepped in um, earlier and said something or whatever, maybe this could have had been prevented. And this is what I'm hoping that this video would do. It will cause bring more awareness to these type of situations because I see it happening so
Yeah.
much. And it's like the women are like the most unprotected beings on earth right now because we not, what I'm saying, we are getting killed by the people that's supposed to be our providers and protectors.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I feel like it starts with the families. It starts with the families. Like if you know that your child, brother, whoever it is, is abusive, or if it's a female, because females do it too, in a
Hmm.
lot of situations. Y'all supposed to come in and let them know that they wrong and try to get them the help that they need because it could be some trauma that it's trauma. It's trauma. It's some trauma that make that they got that they going through that makes them feel like this type of thing is okay. And
Right.
I'm gonna bring up her picture.
Yeah.
This is Elizabeth, beautiful young lady, and
Mm.
unfortunately, she has lost her life to senseless behavior, man. Senseless behavior. And
Yeah.
this should be Mother's Day. This
Yeah.
should have been one of her first or second Mother's Day, and now her
Yep.
baby got to grow up without her. I just don't. That
Yeah.
was,
Yeah. Well, it's my understanding too that she's been in a long-term domestic violence relationship. That is also what I was told. And um, Uh, and I do think that sometimes we tend to turn our back on things or let things kind of pass. And I do understand sometimes how difficult it is because there are people that try and then they may try and people are still reluctant to sever the relationships and you have to understand the whole dynamics between with the domestic violent relationships in general, right? You've
yeah,
got this negative attachment, this unhealthy attachment to a person, and there's a whole bunch of other things that are going on behind the scenes. But I agree with you in that if or I know that there's somebody in my family that's being abusive towards someone, we have to start saying something. We have to start, responding or trying to attend to the issue and not turn our backs and act as though that it's not happening or it's not occurring. Um, and because then ultimately we can end up in situations like this. I don't know whether it's Elizabeth or somebody else. There's stats and information out there that says that this could be the end result, right? In these situations, so we have to attend to it, whether it's male, female, whomever. Check ourselves if it's ourselves, and try to address these
yeah.
issues. Definitely, and as a parent, if my kids are doing it, or I'm saying I'm gonna say something to you, or if you're in a situation where I feel like, you're being abused or it's unhealthy, I'm gonna say something to you, because nobody wants to be in this situation that Elizabeth and her child now has found themselves in.
I totally agree 100%. Me being a domestic violence advocate myself,
Mhm.
um, I feel like what it be is we feel like that's how they express their love to us. And this is what our women have to understand. A man that loves you would not harm you physically, emotionally, in no type of way. He want to do nothing but protect you from people that are trying to do those type of things. Like I
Mhm.
remember times where I would stay away from my family so they wouldn't see the bruises on my face and everything until it got. What made me leave is when it was a life and death situation. It was one of my kids' father at that. Um, I took him on tour with me, and probably by the seventh city we got to, and he did this in front of our child. This is the most traumatizing thing that a child can go through, but he did it in front of our child, and it's like nobody could tell me anything about this person. It was like I was addicted to that toxic
Mhm.
toxic love, and it's like no, like I don't think that nobody could have told her to get out that situation. It would have had been, and unfortunately she didn't survive. I'm
Mhm.
one of the survivors. I'm not a victim. That's why I said I'm an
Mhm.
advocate. I'm not a victim. I am a survivor. I've been there. I've done that. That's why I will never judge another woman because I'm tough. Like you not
Mhm.
just put your hands on me. But the thing is, it's like when you love someone so much and you want it to work, you're gonna come up with every excuse for the things that they do. And this is what happens. Because they do not change, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse to the point where they feel like, well, if she's accepting this, then let me. He just ended it, and I feel like
Yeah.
it's so wrong because once again, let me pull her picture up. This
Mhm.
beautiful young lady, 19 years old, she's gone. Who's gonna raise their baby now? You know, and that's traumatizing to this baby. They have traumatized this baby forever because she's gonna have to grow up to know that her own father took her mother's life while she was there. You know, and who's
Mhm.
to say that she's not gonna grow up and meet the same type of guy
Right. Yeah.
and have to go through the
Those
same type
cycles.
of experience?
Those cycles. This situation, unfortunately, has also just kind of just, I guess, more so open our eyes to the cycle of how those cycles continue to occur in families in these situations. And Elizabeth was part of a cycle that still hasn't been broken. It's just I was talking to my brother the other day, and he was like, "Man, it just seems like it never ends." And I'm like, "Yeah, it just seems like it never ends." And when I got the call the other day, I thought they were calling about her mom,
Okay.
right? And then I'm like, "Oh, okay," and then I'm like, "Oh my God," but it's Elizabeth. So it's just like continuous. So we've got to learn to try and break these cycles and stop these dysfunctional things from continuing to happen in our lives and in our families. And the only way for us to do it is to address it. Just
Okay.
address it.
So another thing that we do, like you saying, breaking cycles, we have a non-for-profit Breaking Generational Curses Academy, where
Hmm.
our location is 815 North Church Street, 61103. Um,
Hmm.
it has been brought to my attention that the baby does not have clothes, needs food, need a lot of different things. So if you guys want to donate anything so we can
Hmm.
donate to whoever has the baby, so that's the least we can do as a community.
Oh,
Come
nice.
together and help out. Like, we couldn't save her, we couldn't help the mother, but at least we can help do something for this child, and that's what we like to do. Like, we want to help break these generational curses that those cycles. We want to help break them, and anything can help. Like, I don't care if it's a can of milk or Pampers or clothes
Mhm.
or whatever. Do you know the size? Like, what is the
I don't know. I think she is about 8 months old. She look a little chunky.
okay.
So, but yeah,
Or 12 to 24 months, because I
oh,
have
definitely.
yep, 12 to 24 months. They can fit that. Like, either it's going to be right, just right for her, or a little bit bigger and she'll grow into it. But
Yeah.
clothes, anything that you guys can donate, please donate it to the family. Before we leave though, I want to say this. We got to do better, Rockford, Illinois. We have to do better as a community to get these stories out, to get our people the help that they need, because Mrs. Valerie, you was telling me about her auntie.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
what was her name, and what was that about again?
Well, what was again a part of this the cycles like we were just talking about. My cousin, her aunt, which is her mother's sister, has been missing for like 20 years. She's been missing from Rockford since November 4th of 2004, and missing persons reports were filed shortly thereafter her missing. I think within a couple of weeks or something like that, but there's been nothing done. Nobody's called. Well, I take that. No, there's been nothing done, nothing significant enough through Rockford Police Department to get even Special story out there. Her name is Special Elise
Mhm,
Euchre, and she's been missing almost 20 years.
mhm,
And nothing's been said, no missing posters, no blast on the news, nothing, not a picture, nothing's been posted. Um, I moved to Texas 13 years ago. And before I moved to Texas, I started calling the detectives. I've called the detectives, I can't even count how many times since I've been here 13 years. The case was transferred to Chicago for a missing persons unit. I was told recently from them that Rockford was like, no, we don't want your help. So they got the case back, but there's still nothing. So we,
yeah,
you know, again, if you know something, say something. Step up. I don't care what it is. If it's something you thought you heard, anything that's helpful. We need to be able to, protect our young women, especially our young black women, and just do the right thing. Do the right thing by them. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And if you guys know anything about Special, please reach out to us, and we will reach out to the family. If you guys want to donate anything for this baby, and I have a couple of baby items, but I think this is the things I have is for more of a newborn baby boy. But whatever I can do, we can do. We're gonna reach out. We'll get more information. But yeah. You guys, like, it's sad. It's an unfortunate case that this happened, because now this young man had to deal with this, and it looks like that's why it looks are deceiving. When I went to his Facebook page, I had seen that it looked like he was a loving father, like he loved his baby, like, you know what I'm saying. He
Mhm.
loved this little girl, but it's like you're not. You supposed to have been her protector. You supposed to have been her mother's protector, and you was the one that caused them the most harm.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Yeah.
ever you.
And my first response is anger. It's still anger, because this is something that could have been, like you said, preventable. But then I
Yeah,
also, like I was speaking to you earlier, I have some empathy. That don't mean I'll agree with what you did. There was a problem that was obviously there with this young man that needed to be checked and handled and dealt with, before this got to this point where he took her life and ultimately damaged and changed the course of his child's life, his family's life, you know what I'm saying, anybody else that was connected to it. So, we gotta do better. We have to do better in checking ourselves and addressing these situations, and stop letting this stuff go.
agreed.
Stop letting it go.
Agreed. So with that being said, I'm finna say my closing. I am reporter Shakia Yancey, aka Ricochet, voice of the mothers, and we are here to elevate our people. You know, that's what is ETF entertainment stands for, elevate the family entertainment. And these are the type of stories that we want to cover, but we also want to cover the positive things that's going on what are we doing to make a change. Okay, we see the problem. We already know what the problem is. Let's get involved and be the change that we really want to see. Like, I hear so many people talking about it, talking about it, but who's putting in the action to really change something? I'm going to get some resources for the family for you guys to reach out to try to see um, exactly what type of help you need and what we can do. And like I said, if you guys want to donate anything towards the family, feel free to do so. You can come down to our office. Let me also put this banner up there. This is also our Cash App at at the bottom if you want to donate to the broadcast, because we be working. And I don't. None of the news stations or Rockford Scanner or anything had this footage that I had, because they wasn't on scene. They wasn't there. And it's like, these is the type of situations that really matter the most, and it needs to be out there because it's happening too frequently, and it's getting swept up under the rug. And that's the part that's killing me. Like, how can we change anything if we are afraid to really talk about it, address it, and it's not being like, make that go viral? How about that? Make that go viral so we can really get down to the bottom of it and see what the problem was. Because, like I said, this is I'd have heard so many stories like this and seen so many stories like this, and mine could have
Hmm.
ended up like this. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I was able to survive that situation, and I know that that's not love no more. So, ladies, learn how to love yourself.
Hmm.
And Miss Valerie, do you want to say anything before we get off this broadcast?
No, I think you summed it up for me.
What would you like to say
Definitely.
if you had if you got a message from the family? What would you like to say? Speaking on behalf of the
From
deceased young lady, like,
actually, I was gonna say just it's what you said. I'm sorry that the signal was. I was gonna say just what you said. We got to learn
okay,
to love ourselves and take care of ourselves, and support one another, to try and help make these situations not continue to occur. Just that.
okay. With that being said, thank you so much, Miss Valerie, for joining me. If it's any more of the family members or friends of the young lady that you think that might want to come and I'm gonna share her picture one more time so you can see who is harming to beautiful young lady. But with that being said, you guys, peace and blessings. Learn to love yourself more and know that it's not okay. It's not okay. So with that being said, peace and love. See you guys later.